what are the transitions for you in this, like that brought you to that kind of level of giving? And because for the past couple of years, I really feel that you've opened up in a way that's, I don't know, a very mellow, calm, seductive expression of yourself. Like what transitions happened?
Oh, I mean, just growing up. It's practicing what I preach instead of, because any guy who's working in this industry, I tell you, you get into it because you're trying to figure stuff out for yourself. You're trying to improve yourself along these lines as well. And every single guy I work with, I learn something new. And if I'm going to be an example to people, I've got to internalize it. I've got to be able to bring it myself. And then with this event especially, I always feel like I've got to bring my best. Everybody else is. Man. Anthony always is. And so just to kind of deserve to be on that stage with everybody else, I've got to make sure that I'm resting as much as I can before my speech. I'm giving as much as I can to the guys who are all bringing everything that they've got themselves. Like, I got to step it up.
And that is something, because speaking at the 21, this is something that you guys may not know, is that it is so different because it's a different caliber. In other speaking events, for anything, it's like there's some riffraff, and you're like, okay, it's kind of easy to get the top 10%.
Roll out of bed hungover and just go over there, don't shower, hey guys. But there's a 21 convention.
Yeah, like to speak on a stage with yourself, like to be around that, or any of the other speakers.
Some of the top guys in health, some of the top guys in the world in fitness.
Like doctors,
MDs, and I'm supposed to be up there with them.
That's the crazy thing about like the guys in the seduction industry, is we tend to be people that just, kind of go about life in this way. And
I was a philosophy major.
Yeah, hey, at least you went to school, I mean, like, a lot of us didn't. But we're actually on stage with these like academics. After this, we got... We have guys with actually I just interviewed a guy with a PhD, and we have another guy with a PhD, and it's just such an interesting thing. And I think that's something that the 21 Convention, Anthony, everybody involved in it has put out there, that living your life, living your expression, living what you're truly passionate about, you can get to this expert level of spreading a good word. I mean, has this happened for you? We enter into the seduction industry, and you can kind of go whatever way you want. But had I not been involved with the speakers and the people that I met, I wouldn't have transitioned into more of the thought and the mindset and the, even feelings. I'm passionate about seduction. What's happened between the 2009 convention and now, man?
Well, I've always kind of followed my own path when it comes to this sort of thing. I've always been figure things out on my own, walk, whatever. I ignore everything that else is out there, and then really kind of think, what do I believe is best, even if all the other voices in the industry are saying something different, which at the time,
and that is you too.
They really were. And so, I feel that I was maybe leaning towards a message or a direction before it was more popular, before it was more accepted.
Yeah.
And it was a gamble.
Time. Yeah, big time
for sure. But then it's humbling when Anthony starts kind of cutting out other people from the convention. There's a lot of people that spoke that back then that they butted heads when they weren't invited back, and no, it's just,
isn't that crazy?
It's really just reaffirming. It's really, like I said, humbling that.
And then also with you, because you're like super humble. You're like totally down to earth, right?
The dude.
Yeah, no.
I've got my own stuff to work on like everybody else.
Yeah. And so for yourself, just kind of going along on this path, and then all of a sudden your speech explodes, man. And the way that you handled it is even cooler, because a lot of people, they get a speech that takes off and it's like me. Finally I'm validated. But for you, it's just like, oh no, man, that's not what it's about. That speech was released, what, a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
Like, what was your reaction to all that? Like when people started emailing you, or you were just like, whoa, this thing is going crazy?
I was as shocked as anyone.
Yeah.
Because, my speeches would tend to get as many views roughly as the other guys in the convention. And then that one just went off, completely unexpected, very, very surprising. And I wasn't going to walk in here this year with a big old fur coat and like sunglasses like Mr. Big Shot or anything.
That was even an option in their head. Like, geez,
no,
man,
but
you should have. spot.
For me, it was validating in a way, in that, you know, the stuff that I'm talking about, the way that I'm going about this stuff is what people want. You know,
Yes.
they don't want the
Yeah.
top 10 like best pickup lines. People are looking for something else. So if anything, it was just like a reaffirmation that I was going in the right direction. But definitely at the same time, not like, oh, I've arrived now.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that, you know, I've got a lot more work to do. But at least I know that, you know, I'm
Dude.
doing it somewhat right.